some like future things. I know we talked about youth and like working in youth and things like that. So what is an event you would like to do in the future?
I would love to do another lock-in.
A lock-in?
Like an overnight. I know, like, but when we were students and we did it at, it was called the Flying Spider at the time, and they changed the name now.
Yeah.
But we stayed there all night. We had a bunch of pizza, and honestly, just something like that where it's like super like energetic, and like I don't want to do a lock-in where it's like, okay, well they're cool and all, they're just not for me to do like segments of it. Like, let's do a movie night at this part of it, because I need to keep going to stay awake.
Yeah. If you give me a second to stop, I will fall asleep.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, that environment, I'd love to do that again. I think a lot of the kids would like it, but just an idea.
A lock-in. I'm old. I'm very, very old.
And your
Chris and Dawn are even older.
is like 8:30. So
well, because like I've done a ton of lock-ins. I have.
Lock-ins are fun, man.
They are super fun, especially if you're a student and you're just hanging out. But to put one on, oh man, it was tough.
I'm not saying it's not going to be work.
Oh no, it's gonna be work. I felt bad for Chris. I felt bad for Chris and Cody because and you
me.
and you.
And me.
I forgot you did it,
I was there.
but we did the lock-in, and then you guys went and played in a softball tournament.
It was a Friday night when we did the lock-in.
Yeah.
And yeah, the very next day, yeah, it was like a whole day slow pitch softball tournament, and I don't remember exactly how many games we played, but it was at least 3 or 4 throughout the day.
That's rough.
And I mean, to be fair, back in high school, I went to a lock-in at a church I went to before coming to the cave, and I was running cross country at the time for school, and it was a Friday night lock-in thing, and the next day we had a cross country meet, and it was me and 2 other guys on the team that were at this lock-in, and
Mikey and Austin,
and all 3 of us ran personal bests that next day.
Because you're just on adrenaline.
Oh, dude, we were on Mountain Dew and pizza from all night long. It was crazy.
You got nothing left in the tank, so you're just like,
up on Mountain Dew.
The whole and but it was funny because from where we live to the lock-in is roughly an hour drive.
yeah,
So from the lock-in back to home, about an hour after the lock-in. So we're starting to come down.
right.
And then the cross-country meet was at least another 50-minute drive south. I think it was over an hour, actually. Somewhere around there. So it's just all like 2 or 3 hours where we just weren't doing anything. We were just on a bus. And then we did our thing. And
That's awesome.
we were slumped afterwards.
Oh,
We probably slept for like 14 hours after that.
You just got nothing left. But no, Flying Spider was fun because we did that, and it wasn't a lot of like setup for us. So it was like working that was just like you guys
monitoring you guys.
Yeah, we just make sure you guys aren't
killing each other,
jacklegging around. And that was the year Emily threw water in my face. I think it was Emily, because I was asleep. I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
I've got the footage of it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I forgot about that because it was like the upstairs area of it was like a lounge.
There was like a
area.
lounge.
Yeah.
And
there was a couch with my name on it. I was like, I am.
Yeah, Kevin falls asleep at all the lock-ins.
Oh, easily.
Because Winter X, I have a picture of you and Keegan both sitting in chairs.
Yep, we were done. We were done, Zos. And thankfully, we didn't have to drive back that morning. That was the other thing, too, is like, we drove to the lock-in. Like, I think I drove. Did I drive?
Probably.
I think I drove.
Me and Emily and a couple people drove separate, so I don't know.
Well, this past Winter X.
Oh, Winter X, you drove, and then Keegan drove.
He drove my van, and then you and Matt drove back that morning because you guys had a hotel.
Yes.
Because that's how we have to do it.
Yes.
Because like I would not have been able to drive home that morning.
No shit.
I'll die and take you all with me.
No kidding.
Like, you know.
I could do it.
You probably could. You're.
I also have a hard time, especially like now that we're in different roles and everything. I learned this at Winter X.
Yeah.
On the way back, I tried to sleep because everybody else was, but I did not sleep.
Really?
Until I got home, I did not sleep because
it's wisdom.
I was like, well, what if somebody wakes up and they're trying to do something? I don't know. Like, what if they're just doing something they shouldn't be?
Yeah.
Or
see,
whatever.
I was not that. I fell asleep in the front seat. And I was like, I was home in 10 seconds, it felt like. Just because I was so tired. But like stuff like that, like when we did the cave one, we actually went to the Crystal City Cave underground.
Oh yeah.
That we
I
had to
don't.
put
You
on
weren't
stuff.
here yet.
We had to like have stuff for you guys to
Right,
do.
yeah.
Because you just go off in the sand and like cuddle and sleep. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
which is what most of the staff did. After a certain point, we were just like, we were dunzos.
Yeah.
We were checked out, and like,
I've never been to the Crystal City Cave.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Do you like sand?
Love sand.
You would love it.
I don't like sand.
Oh, it's rough and cold. It
It
gets,
gets
everywhere.
everywhere.
I don't know what you're quoting.
Yes, you do.
I'll put it up on the screen. Star Wars.
I don't like Star Wars.
Not
No,
many
you've
people
never
do.
seen Star Wars. It's different.
I have seen some of them. No. We never finished it.
Oh wow. Now, Drake, what is an event you would like to do in the future?
Oh, man. Lock in solid answer. The first thing that came to my mind, though, was whenever we totally redid this place into a laser tag arena.
Yeah.
I mean,
solid.
it's been long enough. We could probably do the exact same thing again.
Oh, yeah.
But like stuff like that, where we totally deck out this place and like do stuff like it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So much, like it was probably more work than that underground lock in.
100%.
But, like,
100%. We had to have that stuff set up over several days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
we
like,
were here all week pretty much.
We all got high on spray paint fumes.
We
Yeah.
did because we were spray paint on the inside.
It was
Yeah.
us, and then we went to Steak and Shake after.
That was not a very wise thing. It was like, why are we doing this inside? It was too late at that
Yeah.
point. Like we're all
Right.
just like,
I mean,
yeah,
but yeah, stuff like that. Whenever, like, even as simple as like a couple weeks ago when we did the indoor dodgeball stuff.
yeah,
Like we just hang up a couple of nets around so stuff doesn't get ruined.
yeah.
Or like
I
broken.
needed some better nets and some weights for it. Like,
Maybe.
that
We
was-
should keep
But-
the nets in the window for the
The nets
booth.
in the
Honestly,
window?
For the booth.
for the
You're not
sound
wrong.
booth,
I've been looking into that.
stuff like that. Because
yeah.
I mean, if they were pulled tight enough, because then sound can still come through and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
we still have that. We have to visually be able to see,
that's
and
what
we
I
can't.
mean.
We
But
can't.
you can't do
block sound.
plexiglass because it would block the sound. But
Yeah.
you can't do like brick because you can't see.
We used to have bars.
Yeah.
We used to have.
like
They
the
were
netting.
made of PVC, but they were
I
like
mean, that would work.
they were set up like a jail cell bar because we did a drama, like one of those like drama houses, and where we decked this place out and like hung a bunch of stuff. We did an insane asylum.
I love that.
It was super cool, but we kept those bars up forever.
Yeah.
We never took them down until we had to repaint. And then we were like, okay, I guess we got to take them down. And like some of the bars were already broken and like taken off. But no, that's definitely some stuff that we do have to. That's some inside baseball for you guys at home. We have some stuff to work on because these kids throw these balls everywhere and they go into our booth and almost take out our nice
entire
computers.
PC. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely got to do that. I would love to do an event. This is just me. I would love to bring in another concert like tour. We used to do those back in the day. Back when I was a student, we'd have like 5 or 6 bands come through at one night, and just that was the night. We had maybe like 100 kids in here, and just have bands. Most bands and live shows don't really, especially in the Christian world, don't attract a lot of these kids now because it's like, if they're going to listen to music, they're going to listen to like not bands, but like artists like Drake and Cardi B or whatever.
I'm right here.
Yeah, no, sorry, wrong Drake. The other Drake.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, sorry.
Put up that clip of Drake saying that.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
meme
Oh,
It's a
is
good
it?
one.
of Drake.
funny one.
He's in front of like a green screen. He goes, embarrassing. It was at camp this year. That's how I know it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It was. I think it was. What day did you come down?
I came down on Thursday.
It was before then.
Okay. Yeah, that's because they did their AM experience. That's
yeah,
funny.
it was because Will did it.
But I'd like to do a big concert. I'd like to do a big
I like that.
tour. I thought it was always a fun thing. And all we ever had to do was just be here and help them like schlep equipment. So like hook up guitars and amps and that. They did all that, but we just help them bring it out of their stuff. And sometimes they'd let us run their merch booth, which was always fun.
Yeah, I got to do that for Attaboy.
Did you?
I was told to do that. They literally came up to me and they were like, "Will you run the merch?"
That's funny.
I was like, "I'm where you need me."
Attaboy put on a great show.
There
They
were a
did really
lot
well.
of kids here.
Yeah.
I was running the merch, and then I was up there front row during the songs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome. Well, I can always count on you to be that front row person. No. So events,
I have another idea.
yeah? Tell me.
So it's something.
Ice skating.
I do enjoy ice skating. However, that was not my idea.
Go on.
So if like through the PCG and like our district, if they have something, does that mean we all have it? Essentially.
What do you mean?
So like silent disco. Brandon and Becca bought those.
That's
headphones.
theirs. So we would have to get our own things. I'm sure I could ask them and borrow them.
I thought that I heard you guys say something like you and Keegan or something.
We were talking about buying that. But I need to get I'd want to talk to Brandon about that, just to be like, hey, what did you guys spend on that? And like, how did you guys hook that up? Because I'm not entirely sure how they did that.
Right.
I know it's like Bluetooth. They're Bluetooth headphones, but I don't know like what system they use to like attach it to. But I could probably borrow them. The silent disco would be fun.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah. See Keegan out there dancing again.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Kevin, put it up.
Put up the clip.
Kevin, put up the clip.
Run it.
Oh, he was like, "Baby, you're fine."
It would be Katy Perry that he's dancing to.
I have the video.
That's super funny though. God, I love you, Keegan. Don't hate me for putting that up there.
That's too good.
No, silent disco would be fun.
And I feel like it'd be simple enough that
Yeah.
it's like easy cleanup. Just
Yeah.
put it up, put them all in here, and let them do their thing.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's more up your alley than a lock-in. So
I think it is. Yeah. Lock-ins, man, my back's already hurting. Because I'm just an old
Just
man.
thinking about it.
Yeah. I got more grays in my beard coming in.
we'll bring an air mattress for you. We'll all keep the kids.
I have an air mattress. It's up on the stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's part of the bedroom set.
Not the one that I took to camp.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
the one I sent to camp. Nobody used. So I'm like, I'll use it as a prop.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, but I can't lay on that. I'm too large for that air mattress. It'll pop like a whoopee cushion. So, it's,
We have a big air mattress. We have a queen size. It's like super tall. It's like
Do you?
Yeah, it's a...
Because I have the
Pretty
inflatable
solid
air
one.
mattress and I have an inflatable couch or love seat, or whatever you call it. But we need to get a couch down here. We do need like normal couches because Keegan broke our last one.
Yeah. Yep.
That Canadian moose.
Can't take him anywhere.
If you had a song that we do for worship down here that we would retire, which one would it be?
Retire.
Oh, this is not where I thought we were
A
going.
song to retire?
Yeah, one that we do down here.
I don't want to retire it necessarily.
If it's one of our new ones, I'm going to be very upset. We just started those.
What I see.
Oh my gosh. I have to delete the whole patch.
My vote would be Set a Fire.
Set a Fire, really?
It's a good song,
We've been doing that since like 2016.
but
at least.
it would not surprise me if y'all have been doing that song since before I showed up.
Probably.
So it's not that it's a bad song at all. It's just
No.
one of them ones where it's just been so, not overused exactly, but like it's just been used so much
Right.
that it's, you know.
That hurts my feelings,
But
Rick.
I know.
No, I
Like,
totally agree.
I was singing that song
Right.
way back when I was on the team. So
No, I remember that song did what we did play that for a while. And it was kind of rough.
there for a minute it felt like it was every week.
Yeah. It's a good song and like we started doing mashups with it.
Yes.
So we've
that
got
definitely
like
helped.
That helped a lot.
like we
for
do a
sure.
mashup of Set a Fire and How I Fight My Battles or Surrounded. And I think that really did help it a bit. But I love Set a Fire because it reminds me of Fire Fall Down, which is an old worship song, a Hillsong United worship song that I got saved to. So I was like, this song reminds me of that. So it's like, it's in my heart of hearts. But
It's a little
again,
more
it's
home.
like, we probably do need to retire it and like put in some new blood.
For sure.
Faux show.
Oh, shizzle.
What about you, Court?
I'm not a music person, so will you remind me of like what the songs are that we do currently? Because especially with how
Oh, I could.
right now that we've been actively doing right now because
Only King Forever, Unstoppable God, I Am Free. We just brought I Am Free back.
Yeah.
We kind of do a different arrangement. We do Reckless Love. trying to think, and I'm on the team.
Right. That's what I was like, help.
Yeah. No, there's a handful that we do. But there's a ton that we don't do because we lost our keyboard player, we lost a singer. So it's like there's some that we just immediately had to retire.
No, and that's why I was like, what we are actively doing, because I know it went from...
You could probably pick one or two from that list of ones that we just don't do anymore because we're not really able to.
Right. I think what I'm glad we retired was a Planet Shakers one. It's the... through you, I could do
Nothing
anything.
is Impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
You want to talk about Set a Fire being overdone?
Blind
Every
eyes
sound
are open,
check.
and strongholds are broken.
Every sound check was that song.
Yep.
Every other week we played that song.
Yep.
It was
Nothing is impossible.
sound check and performed during every practice.
Yep.
I had to
was
do it
rough.
for kids' church.
Yeah.
I was up on
So you
stage.
had
That's
the
why I know
motions.
the dance and everything.
That's funny.
I was up there. I believe.
Dude, we could have brought that back for Back to School Bash.
We
And
could have.
you could have done the motions for the kids.
We
Oh,
could
no.
have.
You could have. We didn't.
We didn't. And there's a reason behind everything.
No, I'm glad we retired that one because it was the one that we could, like, if we missed a practice on a Sunday, we can go, yeah, we can pull this one out, no problem.
Yeah.
I can still play it in my sleep.
But honestly, I feel like if it gets to that point, that should be a notice enough of like, hey,
Right.
maybe take a step back from it. If you can, I get it now if you still can, but if it's one that's just like, man, we do this so often, we don't even need a practice for it. It's like,
Right.
red
Well, it's,
flag.
I look at like what the kids ask and what they say, because like I get sick of the songs because I've been on the team forever. These songs I play them every week. Even just last night I was sitting here practicing because we don't have practice today. But I'm like I got the set list for Wednesday, so I'm practicing them and I'm just like, why am I practicing this? I know these songs. Mm-hmm. But these kids, they'll request them and they'll ask them like, hey, we want to do these songs. I'm like these kids don't know the songs. They don't know what's new and old. So they're just like, I just want to hear the song because I like it. I'm sick of it because I practice it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like, I hear it so much when we practice them. We practice them 4 or 5 times in a row. And like, I'm done. But these kids hear them once a week. It takes them a lot longer to get sick of them than I do.
Right. For
Because,
sure.
I'm sick of what I see. And we just started that. So it's like, I'm in a place of just like, yeah, I'm tired of hearing this song. Even though it's on my playlist that I play every day. I do my due diligence to like keep up with the song, but I'm like, I'm done with it. Like if we stop playing it, I'd be like, yeah, all right, that's cool. But the kids don't. Kids love it.
Yeah.
Kids have heard it twice.
I was gonna say 2, maybe 3 times.
Yeah. But what songs would you like to see added?
Stop. I already know. I just gotta refresh my mind. It's in my worship playlist on Spotify.
Spotify. You mean the devil's streaming platform? No, I'm kidding.
I was like, I never heard anything bad. What's
I
wrong?
have no idea. I pay for YouTube. I don't pay for Spotify.
Trust in God.
Trust in God. Is that Elevation?
Elevation featuring Chris Brown.
We don't listen.
Not
to
that Chris Brown.
Not the one
I
that
know.
beat Rihanna. I didn't know there were 2 different ones. Bree sent me this song.
Yep.
And I said, Chris Brown? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, Chris Brown does worship? And she's like, yeah, you didn't know that? And I'm like,
She's gaslighting you.
I know.
no, she wasn't thinking of this one. And I wasn't thinking of that. I was like, I literally put like in all caps, the one who beat Rihanna?
Yeah, he turned his life around.
And she's
Gave
just
his life to
like,
God.
she's like, what? No.
Saul Paul.
Hey, dude, can happen. God can save you.
I wonder if I have any.
I like that one or
on my we could add.
Firm Foundation.
Yeah,
Love that one.
Firm Foundation is definitely one that we've talked about. Yeah, that one's a real solid one.
There's also another one that I was like listening to Joy FM the other day.
Why?
And it's, why
Just kidding.
not?
I'm just kidding.
And it's actually an older one. I didn't realize because I've heard that album before.
Yeah.
It's Control from 10th Avenue North.
10th Avenue North?
That
yes.
is a throwback.
Whoa.
I was like,
What a band.
it came on and I was like, I gotta Shazam this. Like, who is this? Because I liked it. And
Shazam.
well, like,
No,
yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
You gotta figure
That's
it out.
funny.
I use like the Snapchat Shazam. I'm just like, and then I screenshot it and
That's funny.
I'll look it up later.
Wow.
But
10th Avenue North. I like that. That's interesting.
And
What
there's
about?
another one. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It's called Somebody to You by Rachel Lampa and Andrew Rip. I heard it on Joy FM like back to back with those two, and I just loved them.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's mine.
That's yours.
That's my list.
I got two here, and I want to say one of them, when I was on the worship team, it was like, oh, we're going to learn this song, so like start listening
We had a
to
lot
it.
of those.
There were quite a few of those. So I want to say this was one of them, but the one of them I have is Here as in Heaven by
Yes.
Elevation.
Did we
That one
never
was
play
one-
that?
We never did that one.
Okay, it was just
But it was
a lot
on
of
the list.
practices.
There was a lot of talk about it,
Yeah.
in some practices, but I don't know if we just never got it down or if we never really fully gave it the time of day it
No,
deserved.
Here's in Heaven. I think there was some issues with it. The team wasn't meshing musically.
Yeah, it was just one of the ones where we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, we had I Can't Believe was another one. Like we
Yeah.
got real far
I think
into
it
that
was
one.
those two, actually.
Yeah. And it was
we were
just
trying to learn
ones we
together.
only practiced and could not get it to mesh. We could
whatever
get through the
reason.
song, but we couldn't get
It just
through.
didn't sound that great.
Yeah, we couldn't get through without stumbling.
Right.
So it was like we're not going to put this out here. It's and it felt bad because we'd spent so many practices on it. But them's the breaks.
That's how it goes
Yeah.
sometimes. The other one I got's from Elevation as well, and that's Available. I don't know.
So Available is on our current docket, but because we don't have a keyboard player and I'm playing keyboard, and I'm not a keyboard player, I'm a guitarist. I play guitar, so I've been learning keyboard. Available is one of the ones they're like, let's try. And right now I'm doing Cody Carnes' Nothing Else, which I love.
Yes,
love that
that
one.
was
Love
on my
that
phone
one.
right there. Yeah.
And I can play that pretty well because it's simple. Available is a little bit on the difficult side for me.
Turn it into a guitar one.
We probably could, but I don't know if it would have the same atmosphere.
I literally know nothing about music. I was just
Well, some of that you can. Like we're doing Set of Fire this week. Shocker. I'm not going to do piano on it. I'm going to do guitar. So, and I don't have to speak this week, so it's like I've got time to do that. But I'm going to take the piano part and transpose it to guitar, and I think it sounds good. But there's some songs that just you can't.
yeah.
You know, it loses its touch, it
For
loses
sure.
its atmosphere, and I think Available is one of those. But man, I do love that song. It's on our docket. It's there.
Fair enough.
Who knows?
Love that.
Yeah. So, if I had one, I would love to put on our list. I'm a big Planet Shakers fan because they're so guitar heavy and synth heavy. They're real like upbeat and bouncy and like very youth driven. So
For
I would
sure.
probably do Here's Our Time by Planet Shakers, and it's just a bop. It's so good. The synth is super heavy, and I got my keytar now, so it's like
Oh my gosh.
I would love to
stop.
do that. And just bounce around on the stage,
Yeah.
Lord willing, and hope it holds me.
No busted knees.
Yeah, no busted knees or the stage floor. But with the keytar, I think it'd be pretty fun and like energetic. That's something I would love to add to our docket. But Bree would kill me, so
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
we need to get some more singers. If you
Sometimes-
can sing, hit us up.
sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness
Yeah.
than
yeah.
ask for permission.
Well, she's heading up our worship, so she's got the final say on it. Even though I could override, I'm not going to be that guy.
Just tell everybody else to learn it
Yeah.
on their own time,
And then just
and
bring
then
it in
just
one day.
come into practice and be like, listen to this.
We did that with when Shells was still here, when he was still leading. There was a couple of songs that we just kind of like learned on our own and just kind of like fiddled around with during worship. I can't think any off the top of my head. But it was just like we would come in and we just start playing it. And it's like, oh, that's neat. We're not going to learn that one. It's like, okay, we know it, and just in case. And I think one of them was like, man, we learned a bunch for that worship in the park thing we did. We did this like, and
I
Paul
remember
and I and Shelly were a part of that. And like a bunch of other people. So we learned a bunch of these songs that we were wanting to do for the team down here for that worship in the park. And then we brought it here and it was just like, nah, it's not going to translate.
Right.
I think Here's in Heaven is one of them. That was just something that never took off the ground.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Worship's fun. So, if you at home have a request you'd like for the cave to do, please send it to our P.O. box that we don't have. Just DM us. It's fine.
Yeah, that's...
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Get in the comments. Anyway.
Comment.
Oh.
I think my number one pick would be Firm Foundation, though, since I gave like 20.
Yeah.
That's
Firm
my
Foundation's
answer.
a good song. I think it's a good song. So if there is... I got one more question.
Let's hear it.
So, where do you see yourselves in ministry in the next 5 years?
I already know it. You got an answer, so you go.
I have a huge heart for youth. And that's what I want to focus on is like specifically youth. Like, I don't know. I can see myself just staying here. Like, yes, I said I have a big heart for youth, but I feel like I'm very much called to be here at the cave specifically. So hopefully 5 years from now I can be down here and preaching more because I have some ideas. I just don't know how to turn it into words yet. Like sometimes I'll see something and I'm like, I want to speak a message on it, but I cannot put it into words enough. So I have some stuff I'm working on.
That's cool. I like that.
But
see, I didn't know that. I knew you liked youth. I knew that's where you feel called, but I didn't know like.
I want to get more comfortable speaking. So yes, I spoke that one time. I want to get more comfortable with it and speak a little more, but I just have a hard time putting the stuff into words to actually go up there in front of kids and be like, this is what I need to talk to you about. And then it's like,
It's tough. It is tough. No, that's cool though. I do like that. But Drake.
We got a running joke that I'm like the only person roughly my age out of our group that hasn't spoken yet.
Yeah. You did.
no.
It was around a campfire in the.
I
back
still
of the
count it.
church.
You still came up with a message.
No.
Kinda.
Because his was just an open group thing.
I appreciate it. I'm giving myself like.
He came up
half
with a couple
point,
questions and then everybody else talked.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
I'll give myself a half point.
I was about to say
Okay.
he gets like a half.
Well, that's
But
all right. I got one
I don't
in 2
think-
weeks you could do.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe that's.
I can take another week off. It's fine.
Maybe that's something I could do in the future.
Yeah.
I'd say like overall more though, like definitely the videography and photography and stuff like that, capturing those moments and those emotions and stuff is something I really enjoy doing. And like you said, way towards the beginning, like it's a cool moment when you see something that you either shot as a video or a picture and you look at it and you're like, that just looks awesome. That feeling is unreal. Another thing, one thing that I got to do that I was fortunate enough to do back in 2019 was go to Guatemala with the church missions trips down there, and like that we were gone for 10 days I believe, and that week and a half was just like life changing. Like it was so much fun going. I'm a sucker for traveling, so going to these different countries and places is awesome. But then getting to see like the way that the people live, how they speak, and how they interact with each other and with someone who is like a foot taller than them and a whole different color skin and like stuff like that. Like there's just another layer to me of like, okay, I want to put my best foot forward for them, not only because we were there for medical missions, so like all the medicine, and like we had a couple of dentists there as well. Like not only do we want to give them the best help that they can get for all of that, but like we're also there to like spread the word of God and like kind of act like you're supposed to act when it comes to being a Christian and stuff like that. So doing stuff like that is really fun. And we got to climb up an active volcano on our last day while we were back in town, so that was very fun.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was very interesting looking at the top of the thing, and it's like, oh, there's lava coming out of it, and it like, if I stood right here, we should probably go.
Yeah, we should leave. It's getting mad.
Yeah.
The volcano's got an upset tummy.
Right.
No, because I went to Guatemala. That was my first mission trip. That was my, to this day, only mission trip I've gone on. Was Guatemala with Brother Les and
yes,
his
and
wife
he's
Charlene.
awesome.
He's
a great
great.
guy.
He is fantastic. Super funny guy. And Guatemala was really fun. I would say in the next 5 years, I hope to still be in this office and with a good youth group and kids that have gone past the barrier of like, oh, I'm just here on a Wednesday night, that have gone further into a relationship with God. That having these core kids or whatever you want to call them, just to have a bunch of kids that I can go, I can rely on these kids to help me reach other kids, you know, like that's the goal. Is I know we don't want to talk about numbers and like people are like, oh, we don't want to bring up numbers. I want everyone. I'm greedy, if you want to call it that, and greed can be a bad thing, but as far as I want every soul to know that God loves them, and I want every kid in our district. I want every kid in our schools and in the surrounding ones. I want it all. I know that it can be a lofty goal, but I don't care. That's in the next 5 years. That's where I see is like me pursuing this to get as many kids in here as possible, so as many kids as possible can hear that Jesus loves them. That's my goal. That's my heart. So hopefully, and just not be dead in 5 years. That'd be great.
Aim for the moon, so if you miss, you fall in the stars.
We're gonna. Yeah. Thanks for coming to Church Stuff Podcast.